When I train, I do a lot of calisthenics. I also do some heavyweight resistance, but I also incorporate resistance bands. In this video, I'm going to show you why you might want to do the same. Coming up. What's up guys, this is Trent from xFit. If you're new to this channel, you might want to consider subscribing so you can be notified when all the new content comes out each week. Alright, let's get started. I want to talk a little bit about resistance bands. When I first started to train, I was a little hesitant. I didn't think resistance bands were something that would help me build muscle. I didn't think stability balls would help either. But I was severely wrong. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience with resistance bands. We can utilize resistance bands and free weights together. The idea there is there's a lot of variety when it comes to building muscle and training. They're incredibly simple to use, but they're incredibly effective. When I'm talking about versatility, I'm talking about synergy. When we're training with resistance bands and free weights, the idea of synergy is that we're targeting many muscle groups at the same time. This is perfect for optimal growth, fast results. You can use resistance bands for nearly every muscle in your body. I'm talking deltoids, pectorals, abdominals, hamstrings, quads. Yeah, you can do squats with resistance bands. You can not only get toned by utilizing that type of equipment, but you can also build mass, strength, and endurance. I mean, a lot of us know now that cardio is a really efficient and fast way to burn fat, but strengthening muscles is essential for weight loss. Keeping in mind that lean muscle mass will boost your metabolism, helping your body to be more efficient at burning fat. Feel me? And of course, we all know that one of the major contributing factors to our muscle growth is our body being challenged. By switching it up and using free weights as well as resistance bands is going to cause muscle confusion. A lot of you have heard about muscle confusion when the P90X came out. That was a huge part of that program. Maybe you have been to the gym and you're lifting weights and you're sticking to your program and you're experiencing changes, you're experiencing growth, but then there comes a time where you're not growing as much and not a lot is changing. The mirror isn't changing, you're not feeling any different because it's called a plateau. Your body has grown accustomed and it's being used to the movement and the exercises that you're doing. By utilizing different types of equipment like resistance bands will confuse your muscles and force them to grow rapidly in different ways. They come in all different shapes and sizes. There's light, medium, and heavy. You can also change the resistance by adding or reducing the slack that's in them. A really neat way that it adds the variety to your exercises. Let's say hypothetically, for argument's sake, we're doing bicep curls with the free weights. So we're standing up straight, one leg right in front of the other, knees bent slightly for stability. We're bringing the weights up and down. The force of gravity is what's causing the resistance, and that's going straight down. Okay? When we have resistance bands, we have them stretched out, and you have the point of resistance is underneath your foot. That is where you're anchoring the resistance band to the ground. So you put your foot in it and you step through, okay? And then you perform the bicep curl. The resistance isn't going straight down, it's going back to your foot. So it's targeting the same muscle group that you're attacking, but it's causing it to work in different ways. There's lots of benefits to resistance bands. They're inexpensive, they're easily storable, and if you travel, it's an awesome thing to bring with you. You have really no excuse to get fit with a piece of equipment like resistance bands in your arsenal. If you're like me and you're thinking on the heavyweight resistance training days, you want to go big, you want to go heavy, some of the resistance bands are, they're weighted for like 50 pounds, and you can increase that by reducing the slack that's on them too. So you got a lot of resistance happening there. You can absolutely build good mass, good lean muscle with bands. Essentially what they are is a formulated rubber tube with handles on the end, making a resistance band. A word to the wise though, even though they are relatively inexpensive, especially when you compare them to free weights, you don't want to really opt for the cheapo ones. And I know this from experience. I was bent over doing arm curls and I had my foot underneath, and you know, I've had these particular bands for a while and they were really good, but they do wear out. So there was a little bit of a tear in it and I didn't know. So as I'm performing, you know, the curl, my hand, you know, clenched fist around the handle is, you know, coming at me. So make a long story short, I'm performing these bicep curls and it was deep resistance that I was going for here. And it broke right underneath me and I ended up punching myself in the face and I had like a black eye. So you don't want to skimp when it comes to resistance bands. But even so, like I said before, they are pretty inexpensive when it comes to comparing them with free weights, you know? And also, you know, again, about the versatility part, there are so many interesting ways to utilize them. We can do, you know, biceps, triceps, shoulders, chest. We got so many different muscle groups that we can attack with them. It's funny to not utilize them in our workouts. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'll put a link in the description for some resistance bands that I use personally. You can use them if you're a beginner. You can use them if you're experienced. They're perfect all the way around. So if you want to start feeling good and looking good, resistance bands is a perfect way to switch it up, get that growth, reach your goals, and start feeling good about how you look.